Welcome back, everybody, to the Tennessee Titans franchise here on Madden 23. Today we've got a doubleheader. The Titans have two primetime games as we start with some Monday Night Football at SoFi Stadium against the Los Angeles Rams. Then we return home for Sunday Night Football against another NFC West opponent in the Seattle Seahawks. Our Tennessee Titans are playing some pretty good football. We've won 3 in a row after a slow start to the season, and we're trying to keep it going here as we face off against a couple of interleague opponents. With our 3-game win streak, it hasn't necessarily been perfect, but we're winning games nonetheless. In the last episode, we beat the Texans in a pretty close game, 28-23. The Texans scored late to make the game look closer than it was. But we've won 3 straight. We have not lost since week 5, that embarrassing game against Carolina. And since then, things have been going well, and I'm hoping that they'll be able to stay that way with both of these games being nationally televised, and the whole world gets to see where our Titans are against 2 teams in the opposite conference, the Rams and the struggling Seahawks. The Rams, on paper, should be the tougher game. They are the better team. They ironically did lose to Seattle back in week 1. But the Rams are a pretty good team. They've got a lot of high-end talent. They've got a really good young quarterback. Obviously, Sean McVay is a phenomenal head coach. And we've got to travel pretty much across the country to LA. So our hands are going to be full here. If we want to win this game, I think we've got to send a lot of pressure. Our defense is at their best when they are making life hell for the opposing quarterback. Our pass rush has been inconsistent this year, which I guess is better than it was last year. Not that that says a whole lot. But this Rams team is really good, and they're led by a great pass rushing duo with Aaron Donald and former Tennessee Titan Jeffrey Simmons, who both have double-digit sacks this year. Aaron Donald is still really, really good. Even though he's 34 years old, he hasn't really lost a step. He's still probably the best defensive player in football. Last year, he had 29 sacks. That's a lot. It's gone down a little bit this year, but he's still on pace to finish with around 20. And then Jeffrey Simmons, who we traded to the Rams a couple years ago, has been really good since the move. I think that deal worked out for us too because we got some draft picks. We used some of those picks to get our quarterback. But Jeffrey Simmons has been great for them. They have a good young quarterback at their own, and Isaiah Gordon, the second-year pro out of Kentucky. A lot of the quarterbacks in his draft class, like Cade Hutchinson and Kane Sanders, have been pretty disappointing. But not Isaiah Gordon. He is really good. He had a strong rookie season. He's been even better this year. And they've got a good group of skill position players led by Cooper Kupp and Mike Evans. Cooper Kupp in particular, he is pretty darn good. He's gotten over 2,000 yards in the last 3 seasons. He's won the Offensive Player of the Year 4 years in a row. And based on the numbers he's currently projected to finish with this year, he's probably going to win another one. So yeah, the Rams have some pretty good players with Hall of Fame talents like Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp. The rest of their roster is solid. This team is more about the high-end talent and the young quarterback rather than their depth. But we've got to be able to game plan against 2 game-wrecking defensive linemen, the best receiver not just in the NFL, but a guy who's won 4 consecutive Offensive Player of the Year awards, and a pretty good young quarterback in Isaiah Gordon. So this is going to be a tough matchup. Again, on prime time in Los Angeles, the City of Angels at SoFi Stadium. Can the Titans win their 4th straight game, or will the Rams take this one? Los Angeles opens up with the ball. It's a 3rd and 20 after an early holding call. Isaiah Gordon looks to throw it. Gordon goes downfield, and it is going to be caught, but out of bounds. Isaiah Gordon and Romeo Coloci played against each other once in college in the SEC Championship a couple years ago. Romeo and the Sooners ended up winning that game as Coloci gets a nice run to the outside, outrunning Aaron Donald to the 49-yard line. We know Romeo Coloci's got some wheels. He's not afraid to get active on the ground. On 1st down, Coloci's going to take a shot downfield, and it is caught by Scotty Pickens for the touchdown. Romeo Coloci's first pass to the game is a 49-yard score. The Titans are being aggressive early, and it pays off. Scotty Pickens is somebody who you love having stretched down the field vertically. Romeo Coloci with a perfect deep ball, and Scotty Pickens, who's had some drop issues this year, does a good job of holding on for a score. Malik Willis would have overthrown that ball if we're being completely honest. So it's now 7-0. The Rams get it back. Very good start to this game for Tennessee. Isaiah Gordon connects with his running back, Kyren Williams, who gets it to the 14-yard line. Why exactly was Kyren Williams wide open? Well, I have a pretty clear answer for you. So Asher Gonzalez was supposed to cover him, but Gonzalez got tripped by the tight end Gerald Everett. And as we take a look at the replay, it very clearly looks like Everett kind of sticks his leg out to trip him. I feel like that should be a penalty, but it wasn't. Not much Gonzalez really could have done there. First and goal from the 1. It's a handoff for A.J. Dillon, and he is smothered in the backfield. Devontae Turner Jr. makes the play for the Titans. Second and goal now for the Rams as they look to potentially tie the game up. They're going to send it back to Dillon, and Quadzilla is in for a score. A.J. Dillon with the touchdown for the Rams, and we are knotted up at 7. So Los Angeles gives a nice response, and the Titans get the ball back. 3rd and 2. Handoff for Derrick Henry, and he does not get the first down, making it a 4th and inches at the 46. What do the Titans do here? Do they go for it or do they punt it? They would surprisingly elect to punt it. So the Rams are going to get the ball back after a conservative decision by the Titans, who are usually very aggressive on 4th down, as Gordon is sacked on 1st down. Asher Gonzalez makes the play, trying to get some revenge after his unfortunate coverage blunder, kind of. I don't really want to call it a blunder because it wasn't really his fault. 3rd and long now. Gordon under more pressure, nearly sacked in the end zone by Ojulari. He has to get rid of it, incomplete. So that'll wrap up the first quarter. Pretty even start, tied at 7. Neither side has gotten off to a commanding start, but the Titans with good field position are going to look to get this lead back, as on 3rd down, the pass is caught by Kyle Pitts. Welcome back to the lineup, Kyle. Pitts has missed the last couple of games with an injury, but he is back and healthy, which is good to see. On 1st down, Colochi loses the ball. The Titans have about 4 separate opportunities to pick it up, and they don't. That was Aaron Donald, the multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year, with the strip sack. The Rams are going to get the ball back. Aaron Donald doing Aaron Donald type of things. The Titans had so many chances to pick up that ball. I don't know how they didn't recover that fumble. So Tennessee turns it over in the red zone. The Rams get it back. A.J. Dillon breaks a tackle. Dillon breaks another one. There he goes. Dillon tripped up at the 44. A big run there for A.J. Dillon, who's been pretty quiet to start the game, minus his touchdown up until that run. They go back to Dillon on 2nd down, fighting for yards up the middle. He gets the first down to around the 20. A.J. Dillon is moving the Rams down the field. We'll see if L.A. can take the lead here with a little bit under 6 minutes left in the first half. 3rd and 7. Gordon under pressure. It's batted down. I think Harold Landry was the one who got a hand on it. And the Rams are going to have to kick a field goal as they look to take their first lead of the game. And the kick is nearly blocked. Harrison Harrington got a great jump on that one, but he wasn't able to make the play. Normally that's a Monty Ward spot trying to block kicks, but Ward suffered a bruised sternum earlier in the game. On 3rd and 11, Quinn Crew only gets 6, wrapped up by Matt Milano. The Titans scored a touchdown on their first drive, but it has been tough sledding since. The Rams get it back now, 3rd and 10. Gordon looks to throw it. He goes short, and it is caught by Joshua Ubuko, who gets hit hard, shy at the first down marker, by Asher Gonzalez, who played his college ball not too far away from here at San Diego State. So the Titans get it back. Both offenses really starting to struggle, and it's not going to get any better. Colochi misfires there. That'll force a punt, and the Rams get it back. Final play before the 2-minute warning. Isaiah Gordon is sacked. I think that was Francis Boa Kamoa who made the play. Boa Kamoa got his first 2 sacks of his career last week against the Texans, as that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. Really good to see Boa Kamoa playing well with his increased snaps. He looks like he can play in this league. 2nd and 14. Gordon looks to throw it, and he is sacked again. Harold Landry and Azeez Ojulari are in the backfield with half a sack each, and the Titans pass rush stops the Rams from really doing anything on this drive. LA is chewing some clock here on 3rd and 20, as they're just going to run the ball here with A.J. Dillon, who gets a solid gain of around 8. Tennessee calls a timeout. They're going to try to have themselves enough time to do some damage and maybe take the lead before halftime. Tennessee's offense looked really good on that first drive, and they've done nothing since. Colochi goes short for Scotty Pickens on 1st down, who is pushed out of bounds. That might have been a late hit, but no call. Pickens gets around 16 yards. From the 49 now, Tennessee still with 2 timeouts in their back pocket as Elijah Bryant catches it up the middle. He'll bring it to the 38-yard line. Tennessee does not call a timeout. Instead, they go no huddle as Colochi goes for Quinn Crew, who makes a really nice play after the catch, gaining 29. Tennessee calls their 2nd timeout. They still have 1 remaining with around 30 seconds. And the Titans punch it in here on the goal line as they're now out of timeouts. 2nd and goal from the 5. Colochi goes short, and it is caught for a touchdown. Quinn Crew with the score, and Tennessee will take the lead before half. The fellas are rowing the boat, and it's 14-10. However, the Rams are going to try to do some damage here before halftime ends. They've got all 3 timeouts, and they're going to choose to be aggressive. Gordon on first down, on the run, connects with Mike Evans, who's been pretty quiet. Cooper Kupp has also been quiet. Kupp has not caught a single pass so far today. Down to 7 seconds in a timeout. Do the Rams go short and call the timeout, or do they just go deep? Gordon on the run, heaves it up, and it is picked off. Caleb Farley with the interception at the buzzer. Farley with his 5th interception of the season. That leads the NFL, and that marks 4 consecutive seasons where Farley has amassed at least 5 interceptions. He's a free agent this offseason, continuing to up his price tag. 14-10, Titans lead it going into halftime. As we take a look at the scores around the league, got some interesting results here within our division. The Jaguars beat the Colts. Jacksonville is very clearly the team to beat right now. Houston even won a game as well. They beat Cleveland. Some highlighted games here. We had the Packers defeat the struggling Philadelphia Eagles on Thursday night, 24-21. Looking at another interesting result, we had Dallas and the Giants with a hard-fought battle in overtime. 2 very solid teams within the NFC. And then a big upset, actually a few big upsets this week. The struggling Steelers beat the Bengals 14-24. And if you look at the top of the list, the 7-1 Cardinals lost to the 1-7 Seahawks by the same score. Don't forget, the Titans play against Seattle next week, so we'll see if this win for the Seahawks, their first win since week 1, can maybe give them some momentum going into their Sunday night game in Tennessee. But right now, the focus is on the second half here, trying to win this game. Tennessee has the slight lead. Romeo Colucci has been really efficient. He's made some really nice throws. But the run game has not been good whatsoever. We got to run the ball well. And then defensively, Isaiah Gordon's been pretty solid, but we haven't really been able to stop the inside run. So that's what we got to do if we want to win this game. Tennessee opens up the ball here in the third quarter as Colucci connects with Burks, and they say he was in bounds. At first glance, I do not think he was. That pass was a little bit offline, and Burks does a great job of catching the ball and trying to drag his feet in. They're going to challenge the call, and that might be too close to overturn. The initial calling on the field was that he was in bounds, and the Rams are challenging it. But since it's too close to overturn, they're not going to do it. So the play will stand, and it's going to be a gain of 20 as the Rams lose a timeout. I honestly don't think he got them both in, but that's really close. He does a great job of trying to drag the feet in, and the officials think he did. So we are not complaining. 2nd and 1, Colucci runs to the outside, and he dives in for a score. Romeo Colucci with his 3rd all-purpose touchdown in the ballgame, and the rookie continues to be a star for this Titans team as they lead at 21-10 with all 3 of their X-Factor defensive players in the zone. Here's Cooper Kupp finally with his first catch of the game. It took him 2.5 quarters. Offensive Player of the Year, my rear end. Maybe the Titans are just doing such a great job of stopping him from getting involved as he catches another pass there to the 27. Now Cooper Kupp is starting to look like himself. We'll see if the Rams can punch it in here, make it a one-score game once again. Gordon on first down. Under pressure, they'll go short, caught by Gerald Everett, who is lit up by Chidobe Awuzie, but not before getting it to the 10. 3rd and goal now from the 3. Can the Rams get the touchdown here, or will they be forced to potentially kick? Gordon, he's going to roll out to the left side, and he throws it away. Could not find anybody open. Great coverage by the defense, and the Rams are going to kick. I don't completely hate this call for LA because you make it an 8-point deficit, assuming the kick is good, which it is. So a touchdown and a 2-point conversion does tie it, but the defense has got to get a stop. The Rams defense looked good early, but the Titans have scored on consecutive drives, trying to get another one here. On 2nd and inches, it's Kyle Pitts who makes the play. All of Tennessee's offensive players are in the zone as well. I think that's part of the momentum boost that we have, that all X factors are activated. We'll see if that can continue to play a factor here for Tennessee as Scotty Piggins makes a nice play, breaking tackles. He'll get it to around the 10. Romeo Colucci leaning in on his top targets as he continues to play well, and that'll wrap up the 3rd. Tennessee's looking good. They lead at 21-13, and they had the ball at the 10-yard line, so they should be able to make it a 2-score game as long as they don't do something stupid here. 3rd and goal. Handoff to Derrick Henry, and he is in, brushing away from the former Titan, Jeffrey Simmons, who's done like nothing today. The King has entered his castle, and the Titans lead at 28-13. I believe that was Henry's 10th rushing touchdown of the season. Isaiah Gordon on 3rd and 10 is incomplete. Rams have a tough decision. They would elect to punt. So the Titans get it back. They're up by 15 with the ball. Kalochi goes up the middle for a wide open Scotty Pickens. I feel like it's a bold strategy to just not cover him. Kalochi 17 of 20 today. He's been very efficient. On 2nd down, he will be sacked, though, by Ernest Jones, the young linebacker out of the University of South Carolina. It's now 3rd and 16 now for the Titans. We'll see if they can convert. Kalochi looks to throw it. He will connect with Treylon Burks, who jukes away from the defender for a 1st down. Great play after the catch by Treylon Burks, who's been banged up this year. When he's been healthy, he's been underwhelming, but he makes a great play there. On 3rd down is a short throw for Pitts, who gets around 8. So it's a 4th and 2. The Titans should probably just kick the field goal, but they're going to go for it. Interesting call, and they're going to throw it. Kalochi's pass is picked off in the end zone by Eddie Jackson. That was kind of a stupid play call. I don't get why Tennessee didn't just kick it. The Rams do have bad field position now, but it is still a 2-score game. On 3rd and 11, Gordon's pass is incomplete. So the Rams are backed up at the 1, but being down by 15 points, you don't have another choice. You got to go for it. Isaiah Gordon under pressure. His pass is broken up by Caleb Farley. So the Titans are going to get the ball right back at the 1-yard line, and it's like they got the 4th down after all. Derrick Henry scores again, and Tennessee appears to have iced this game. They now lead it 35-13. The Rams would march down the field trying to get some points here before the end of the game, but Gordon is sacked on 2nd and goal by Trey Hendrickson. And then on 3rd and goal, he'd be intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with his 2nd interception of the year, and that will be the dagger. Awuzie and the Titans grooving to a 35-13 win here on Monday Night Football. This has to be the Titans' best win of the season. They outscored the Rams 21-3 in the 2nd half, and this is a good Rams team. On the road, Tennessee has now won 4 consecutive games, and their record improves to 6-3, leading up to a battle on Sunday Night Football against the Seahawks in just a few moments. All around, a really good win here. Our offense started slow, but they played really well over the last 2.5 quarters, and the defense was all around quite solid. Isaiah Gordon wasn't really able to make a huge impact. The run defense played well in the 2nd half. Pass rush was solid. Secondary was really good. We had the 2 turnovers off of the interceptions by Farley at the end of the 1st half, and then Awuzie right at the end of the game. So all around, things are good right now for the Titans, who have clicked after their 2-3 start. They've now won 4 in a row with a great win here. Romeo Kalochi played very well per usual in this game. Kalochi did turn the ball over twice with an interception and a fumble, but other than that, he was great. 300 yards, 3 all-purpose touchdowns, 75% completion percentage. What I've noticed about Romeo is he hasn't had many bad games, which is something for a rookie. He's only had 1 game with his passer rating being under 90. That's really impressive. Isaiah Gordon kind of struggled. He wasn't super efficient. Not a lot of big-time throws. Our defense was able to really handle him tonight. Don't get it twisted, though. The Rams had themselves an awesome young quarterback. He just did not play well tonight because our defense was really good. The run game was average. They ran the ball better than we did, but it was good to see Kyle Pitts back and healthy. Scotty Pickens played well, and we only had 1 drop, which is a big deal because our whole team has had a case of the Butterfingers this year. Defensively, we were really good in the 2nd half, really good the entire game, but the 2nd half in particular, Aaron Donald and Jeffrey Simmons combined for 2 tackles and 1 sack, which was a strip sack. But overall, we were able to really contain those guys. We also contained Cooper Kupp, and the fact that their high-end guys didn't do a whole lot, the rest of the team wasn't able to overcompensate for that. So you can't really ask for much more. Our ability to stop their stars is one of the main reasons why we ended up winning this game. As we mentioned with the goal, we wanted to send pressure, and that we did. I think we only had 3 sacks, but we consistently had pass rushers in the backfield, making life hard for Isaiah Gordon, which is ultimately what we wanted to accomplish this week. We already saw the scores at halftime, but here's another look at all the scores this week. Players of the week: Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, Kaiser White, and Abijah Travers. So that'll bring us into Week 12. Sunday Night Football at home against the 2-7 Seattle Seahawks. But in the NFL, any team can win any game any given week. So I don't want to take these guys lightly. Seattle won their first game a week ago since Week 1. They beat a really good Cardinals team by 10, so maybe they're finally getting some confidence. They're starting to feel themselves, and they've got some talented players on their roster. They're not a horrible team. They just haven't been able to win games this year, flat out. As I look at their scores, they have a lot of close games. Only one of their 7 losses was by more than one score. They consistently score in the 20s and 30s, so it's not a problem of putting points on the board because they do that pretty easily. But their defense has been quite inconsistent. They've got some good players on the offensive side of the ball. Their quarterback is Jackson Kayuma, the third-year pro out of Arkansas. Kayuma was drafted in the second round by the Dolphins. He left after a year. The Dolphins signed Jalen Hurts, and ironically, the team who had Hurts prior, Seattle, ended up trading for Kayuma. And he's been solid. He's nothing spectacular, but he's definitely a starting-level quarterback in the NFL, and he's doing better than you'd expect for somebody who's 2-7. They've got a good group of skill position guys out of the backfield. Kenneth Walker III at wide receiver. DK Metcalf is really good, and Shai Jones-Porter is really taking a leap in his second season. At tight end, Latrell McAllister, superstar X-Factor, very talented player. Of course, they no longer have Tyler Lockett, who was dealt away to the Falcons at the deadline. Their defense may not be the best, but it's really young. This is one of the youngest teams in the league. They've got Roman Horn II, the former top pick, Brad Bellaford, the former defensive rookie of the year, Matthew Allen is superstar development, Elijah Molden, the former Titan, Calvin Watson, superstar development, and they've got plenty of other young guys on that side of the ball like Schooner, Tibble, Okpoko, Lefuve. They're a really, really young team. That's why they're struggling. It's not that this team is stuck in mediocrity. It's just that they've got a really young roster and they're in the middle of a rebuild. And there are growing pains, but there are some good players on this team. So this is not going to be an easy matchup, but hopefully we can win here Sunday Night Football in front of the home crowd. We'll see if the Titans can improve their win streak to 5 as they look to start the season off with a record of 7-3. On 2nd and 10, Metcalf makes a nice catch, showing off some toe drag swag as he hauls it in on the sideline. We're only a minute into the game, and Seattle already has it at the 33. They are moving it quickly. Here's Latrell McAllister, the former first-round pick out of Clemson, breaking tackles to the 24. The Titans' defense does not quite look as good as they did last week. I know it's early, but Seattle's moving the ball with ease down the field. On first down, Kayuma has a wide-open man up the middle. It's Kenny Golladay, the veteran, who gets it to the 1. Seattle is very close to punching it in here on this first drive of the game. We'll see if they can do it here on this play as Kayuma, his pass is caught. Shai Jones-Porter, the second-year pro out of Penn State with the touchdown. Jones-Porter didn't play a whole lot as a rookie, but this year he has been one of the best number 2 receivers in the league, and he's only getting an even more enhanced role with Tyler Lockett out of the building. So Tennessee will get the ball back, 2nd and 6. Romeo Colucci's going to look short. It's caught by the tight end Kyle Pitts. He's going to get it to the 48. And unfortunately for Seattle, one of their young pass rushers, Calvin Watson out of Southern Miss, is hurt on the play. Their other super young pass rusher, Roman Horn II, also comes from Southern Miss as Horn comes in the backfield quickly with the sack. Roman Horn was the 3rd overall pick a few years ago in our first draft of the series. He was a really good run stopper early on in his career, but this season he's really taken a leap up as a pass rusher, sending more pressure here, but Colucci launches a dime for Hot Rod Pryor. Colucci had both of the defensive ends rushing him quickly. He gets the ball out in the nick of time, threading the needle for Hot Rod Pryor. Romeo Colucci is a very aware player under pressure, showing it there, as it's going to be a fake handoff for Piggins. Instead it goes to Crew, who loses 5. Roman Horn showing off his run-stopping ability. He's already at his 2nd tackle for loss of the game. On 3rd and 10, Colucci sacked again. What a start for Roman Horn II. 2 sacks and 3 TFLs here in Seattle's first defensive drive of the game. So the Titans are going to have to kick a field goal, 52-yard try for Fat Randy is up and good. Right down the middle for Randy Bullock. And it is now 7-3, so the Titans' first drive ends in a field goal, and Seattle gets it back. On 3rd down, it is caught by Farley, who loses it at the last second. Caleb Farley was playing the role of the receiver, and the wide receiver had to knock it out of his hands. So the Titans get it back. Colucci under pressure, and he is sacked again. Roman Horn II with his 3rd sack here in just the first quarter. Nick Petit-Frere, the right tackle, looks like the security guard in a frat party letting guys go right through him like that. It's not going to stop Romeo Colucci from making plays as he connects with Scotty Piggins to the 46. Colucci's completed his first 4 passes in this game as he hands it off to Henry, who makes a nice cut to the left side, breaks a tackle, and Henry's going to make it all the way to the 10 before being wrapped up by Jamal Adams. I'm the best in the nation. Still a nice run there for Derrick Henry. And that'll wrap up the first quarter. The Seahawks lead at 7-3. But the Titans are getting awfully close to the end zone. We'll see if they can punch it in and take the lead here early in the second quarter. It's a 3rd and 3 at the 3. Handoff for Henry, and he is in. Rushing by Jamal Adams for the touchdown. And the Tennessee Titans lead it 10-7. Good run there by King Henry, who's gotten off to a great start tonight. As Seattle gets it back, 3rd and 16. Kayuma's pass is incomplete. Seattle looked pretty darn good on that first drive, and since then, they've done just about nothing. The Titans get it back. Kalochi up the middle with Hot Rod Pryor. That was a risky throw. Had the safety been able to get there quicker, maybe the result would have been different. Kalochi has still not thrown an incompletion. He has been perfect throwing the football tonight. His perfect efficiency continues as he gets it to Kyle Pitts, who gets it to the 11. Kalochi now 10 for 10 for 132 yards. In case you weren't already aware, this kid at quarterback, he can play. 2nd and 6 from the 7. Kalochi up the middle, and it's caught for a touchdown. Treylon Burks with the score. Tennessee's offense looks pretty good tonight. They lead at 17-7 here with 3 minutes left in the first half. 3rd and 7 for the Seahawks. They've got themselves a nice little drive going, but it's going to stall out. Jackson Kayuma is sacked by Harold Landry III for a loss, and that will force a Seattle punt. Titans can make it a 3-score game on this drive. Romeo Kalochi still has not thrown an incompletion as he keeps it on the read option. Kalochi with a nice run, sliding forward to the 40. As that gets us to the 2-minute warning. We'll see if the Titans can score again before halftime. They've scored every time they've gotten the ball so far. On 3rd and 6, Kalochi misfires for Scotty Pickens. His first incompletion all night after starting the game 14-14. On 4th and 6, the Titans are going to go for it. Interesting play call here. Kalochi's under pressure. He's going to go short for Elijah Bryant, who drops it. So Seattle gets the stop. Good play by Jordan Brooks, the captain of the defense. And the Seahawks can really make it a 1-score game before halftime if they're smart with the ball and the clock. They tried to get out of bounds there, but could not. Still getting the first down, though. On 2nd down, it's a screen for Kenneth Walker. Walker with blocks gets it to the 35. Seattle's going to call another timeout and just kick the field goal right here. They want to make it a 1-score game before halftime and play it safe. This is probably the right call. From 52, it is no good. Wide to the right. What am I watching? Fox News? And so that'll wrap up the first half. 17-7 your score. The Titans lead it going into halftime. Tennessee's looked really good offensively. Romeo Kalochi continuing to dominate. Let's take a look at our halftime report around the league. We'll start in H-Town. The two bottom feeders in the South facing off, and the Colts would avoid the upset bid with a nice performance from Jonathan Taylor, while Indianapolis is still very clearly in 3rd place in the division. They're not out of it. If the Titans and Jags kind of struggle late in the season, the 5-6 Colts could make some noise, and you never know. They could end up winning this division. Along with the Titans and Jags, there are plenty other good teams in the AFC, including the Chiefs and the Bengals, who faced off here in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's defense could not overcome Patrick Mahomes. He had himself a great game, connecting here with the rookie wide receiver out of Houston, Kramer Guilford, for the touchdown. Chiefs win it 49-28 over Cincinnati. Kansas City is now 8-3, while the Bengals are now 7-3. Could this be a playoff rematch? Hopefully not in the AFC Championship, because that would imply the Titans didn't make it. On Monday Night Football, Detroit heads to Dallas to face off against the Cowboys, two of the better teams in the NFC. Also, interestingly, the Jaguars got rocked by Denver 35-7. So if the Titans win this game, they will only be one back of Jacksonville in the division. Since we're up, we're probably going to run the ball a lot in the second half, so that's going to be the focus. And then on the other side of the ball, Seattle's not even trying to run it, so why bother? Especially since Seattle's losing. You think they're going to try to establish the run game now? Along with a multi-possession lead, the Titans start with the ball here in the 3rd quarter. On 3rd and 3, it's a handoff up the middle for Elijah Bryant, the young man out of the University of Florida, as he gets it to the 47-yard line. Good gain of around 14 yards. Following play here for Tennessee, Kalochi looks to throw it. He's got an open man. It's Scotty Pickens, who is fighting forward to around the 30. Good play there by Pickens to get open, fighting for yards after the catch, as now the Titans have it on the goal line, looking to make it a 3-score lead. 1st and goal. Kalochi looks to throw it, and he will connect with Scotty Pickens for the touchdown. That was good coverage by Justice Schooner, but he didn't really react to the ball quick enough. So the Seahawks are now down kind of big. It's 24-7, 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter as it's a handoff up the middle for Kenneth Walker. Breaking tackles, he will get it to the 25. Seattle actually is trying to establish the run game now, and it's kind of working, oddly enough. Maybe they should have tried to do this earlier in the game as it's a play-action fake. Short throw, caught by Kenneth Walker again. Gets by Robinson, and he is hit hard at the 4 by Kevin Byard. Seattle's getting really close here to the end zone, trying to put themselves back into the ball game. First and goal, DK Metcalf in motion. He's been pretty quiet today as Kayuma's under some pressure, and he is sacked. Asher Gonzalez and friends in the backfield making a play. I think that was Trey Hendrickson who had the other half of the sack there. Third and goal now from the 11 for the Seahawks. Can Tennessee's defense get the stop here? Jackson Kayuma looks to throw it under more pressure from Landry, and it is incomplete in the back of the end zone. So Tennessee's defense gets a goal line stand. They force Seattle to kick a field goal, and while it is now a 2-score game, it feels like Seattle could have done more on that possession as it's 24-10 going into the fourth quarter. The Titans find themselves sitting pretty. They're pretty close to winning their 5th straight game, as long as they can just hold on here in the final 10 minutes of this one. Second and 10 at the 41. Kalochi looks to throw it under pressure, and he is sacked again. Uchenna Nwosu in the backfield making the play. Seattle with 5 sacks tonight. Their pass rush has been really good. They've been quiet since the first, but still really good. Romeo looks downfield on 3rd and long, and it's broken up looking for Quinn Crew. Romeo Kalochi has the same amount of incompletions within a 30-second span there that he did in the entirety of the first 3 quarters. So Seattle gets it back. Asher Gonzalez with the sack. Gonzalez has been really effective as a pass rusher in both games today against the Rams and now Seattle. He's got 1.5 sacks in this one. Second and 18 now for the Hawks from the 47. Kayuma looks to throw it, and his pass is intercepted. A diving grab by Kevin Byard, his first interception of the year. I'm surprised it took Kevin Byard this long to get a pick all the way here in Week 11, but he does get one here, forcing a turnover. And the Titans are going to get the ball back still with a nice 24-10 lead. Look at the replay here. Great job by Byard extending himself, forcing the turnover. And Tennessee's just got to be smart with the football, and they should be fine. 3rd and 10, Romeo Kalochi looks to throw it. He's going to go short for Piggins, who does not get the first down. The Titans could just kick the field goal, but that's not what they're about. They're going to go for it here on 4th and inches from the 24-yard line. We'll see if they can get this first down and continue to chew more clock as it's a handoff for Elijah Bryant, who gets a 1st and more, getting it to the 14-yard line. Bryant's been really efficient tonight, over 6 yards a carry. 3rd and 10, Kalochi connects with Hot Rod Pryor for the touchdown, and Tennessee is going to take a 21-point lead late in this ball game. Kalochi was his 3rd passing touchdown of the game as the rookie continues to dominate for the Titans. On 3rd down, the pass is caught there by Shai Jones-Porter. Asher Gonzalez thought he had that ball picked off, so he kind of just stopped moving, and Shai Jones-Porter gets it all the way to the 10. Now at the 2-minute warning, Seattle gets it here to the 5. 4th and 5. Here is Kayuma. He's not going to get rid of it. Harold Landry with his sack, his 2nd of the game, and that's all she wrote. 2 dominant wins on primetime football for the Titans. They start by beating the Rams 35-13, and they perform with an encore 31-10 on Sunday Night Football against Seattle. And yes, I understand the Seahawks are not a great team. They're 2-8. They haven't performed all that well this year, but they're a tough opponent. Again, only 1 loss going into this game was by more than 1 possession, and we ended up dominating them for the most part. Started a little slow, but we really picked it up after the first quarter. Romeo Kalochi might have had his best game as a pro, which says something because he's had a lot of good ones. 28 of 37, 303, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, and he did that facing against a pretty good pass rush. Kayuma was solid, not bad, not great. Both teams ran the ball pretty well. Seattle should have tried to get the ground game going in the first half. Scotty Pickens playing well per usual. Pryor and Burks also scored for the Titans. Would have been nice to see the offensive line show up, but every other aspect of the team did. Shout out Roman Horn, 5 TFLs, 3.5 sacks. He did get injured later in the game. Harold Landry had 2 sacks, Gonzalez 1.5. Speaking of injuries, we've got one ourselves. One of our backup offensive linemen, Eugene Treston, dislocated his elbow. He'll be out for a few weeks, unfortunately. So here's a look at the scores for the week. Again, we already knew most of them other than the Monday night game, which ultimately Dallas ended up beating the Lions 26-24. Players of the week, Genesis Moon, Lamar Jackson, Julian Love. Honestly, that should have gone to Roman Horn. And then the last one went to Yannick Ngakoue. So that'll bring us to Week 12, and this might be our biggest game of the season. We're facing off against the Raiders with Justin Tucker. He was the #1 pick, and he has been as good as advertised. Him and Romeo Colucci are in a tight Rookie of the Year battle, and not to mention, both of these teams are really good within the AFC playoff picture, so there's a lot at stake. In the next episode, we want bragging rights. We want our guy to perform better than their guy, and the winner of the Rookie of the Year race usually goes up in development, so that would be pretty nice if Romeo ended up winning that award. That'll wrap up the episode. Next time around, we've got a huge Week 12 matchup against the Las Vegas Raiders. Should be a lot of fun. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out. Tighten up.